What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Now, I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Scream 5 reshoots as well as Kirby, whether they're connected or not. Now, I know this has been something that's gone on around the internet. There's actually quite a few different outlets, whether it be Twitter accounts, whether it be even YouTube channels that are talking about it. So I want to give my take on it, maybe provide a slightly different spin than others. If you guys have seen other people's content, then maybe you guys will get something a little bit different here. So before we get too far into it, as always, make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. The link for that is in the description below. So, I mean, it's not the biggest surprise in history, right? That it seems like they are doing reshoots, very common for pretty much any movie. But the reported dates are actually March 1st through March 15th. So technically, right now, they could potentially be doing stuff. Last I looked, which was yesterday, there was still no locations, I think, like confirmed of where they are. So what's interesting is, and I have seen people say this, they are being very secretive when it comes to reshoots. Now, one thing I will throw in there that I haven't seen other people say is, well, they were pretty secretive with the filming in general. Some people thought Selena Gomez was there, right? They were looking to her Instagram. She was actually seemingly on a set with like a chair that she was sitting on around the exact same time. At least I think the early parts of Scream 5 were filming, so people look to that. I mean, people are very smart, people are very crafty, and people are very aware of situations, so it's hard to get these things through us, the common folks, right? Because we're always trying to look this stuff up. But, you know, I would argue that the filming of the main movie was very secretive. Even with, like, Neve Campbell, the stuff that we saw was pretty much the stuff that they wanted us to see. Really, there was only, to my knowledge, that one shot of Gale in, like, the red reporter, suit. That was, like, the only thing that was, quote-unquote, leaked. Like, yeah, there were cars. Like, you could kind of tell maybe they're, like, the flashback era stuff. But for the most part, whether it be Ghostface's mask or anything like that, a lot of it came from official accounts. Like, whether it was, like, it wasn't, like, the directors, but it was official in some way where all these pictures were coming from. But for the most part, the movie stayed relatively quiet. So I would argue, and this is kind of just to play devil's advocate, by the way, because I really do want to believe these reshoots are something like at least minorly important, and that Hayden Panettiere could potentially be there. But to play devil's advocate, I would like to say the movie was kept secret, the reshoots will be kept secret. You know what I mean? So there's that part of it. Now, we have talked about the Hayden Panettiere, basically the saga, with both directors following her on multiple social media outlets, which is very interesting, and they did that, I believe, right after Scream finished filming, or I guess maybe towards kind of the end. Obviously, that set people off, right, in terms of, like, excitement. Again, I really do want to believe that she gets at least a cameo in this thing. Now, I guess the negativity in me, or again, the devil's advocate taking over my entire soul, would tell me, or would make me say, I don't believe she's filming these reshoots. What I would like to believe, okay, so if you believe Alex from Podcast Now, right here, me, what I would like to believe is that during those 2-3 months that they filmed the movie, they got her in, they filmed it for a couple days or whatever, they got her scenes, and that's it. I do agree with people that are kind of echoing the statement that she's not going to be in it much. I feel like going into this movie, we can expect a couple things. If Kirby is in it, she's going to probably literally just be a cameo, probably just to let us know she's alive. I don't even know if she'd have an interaction with somebody else. Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. We talked about maybe, like, she could be, like, a picture. Remember at Sydney's house? Remember I floated that idea around. Maybe Sydney could, like, mention her by name. It would be cool to have her actually have an interaction with these characters. Again, just to fortify she is still alive and she's okay, and she could probably come back if this movie does well and people, I guess, are, like, happy about the cameo. She could probably come back for future Scream films, or she could maybe just never come back, and this would be it. Again, I don't know why I'm in such, like, a negative mood, or, like, such a pessimistic mood, but for this, like, I'm trying to keep, I guess my point is I'm trying to keep my expectations low. I will say, if she's not in this film, I will be disappointed. So now you guys know, I guess, where I stand. I do want her in this film. I would borderline expect her to be in it. Again, whether it's just a cameo. Both the directors following her is not by coincidence. You know what I mean? Unless they're working with her on, like, future projects, which I guess is possible. But besides that, they've never worked together before. So I really don't see why they'd follow her during the Scream thing, other other than like some sick joke, you know what I mean? So I guess lead us on. And you know, I borderline hate that stuff. You know, like, yes, it's maybe fun in the moment. It gives us, you know, it gets us going with these kind of things. But at the same time, if they come out and they say, yeah, we kind of did that just to fun, just to kind of throw people off, then I don't know about you, but I'm actually going to be kind of upset about that. You know what I mean? This is like, why? Just, you know, don't do it in the first place. I think fans naturally will come up with ideas or theories that Kirby could return anyway. We don't need your help to kind of fuel the fire. And then you say, oh, yeah, there was never a fire to begin with. You know what I mean? It's not happening. So I would say reshoots are pretty darn important for the most part. I know I saw one account on Twitter that said, like, reshoots for Scream and reshoots for Scream 2 actually really helped the movie. Reshoots for Scream 3 and Scream 4 didn't matter as much. So we'll have to see how important they are for this movie, Scream 5, Scream 2022. We'll have to see if Hayden Panettiere is there. Again, I would say my prediction, or at least what I would like to believe is true, is, by the way, if you do believe this, you can connect her to other characters. If it's reshoots and she's there, the rumor we have on reshoots is the location doesn't even matter because they're kind of just like, not background shots, but they're just like shots of like environments that don't really mean anything. So if they're going to do that as the reshoots, there's also some people saying that they're not even reshoots at all. They're actually additional scenes. If that's the case, then yes, Hayden Panettiere could very well be doing the reshoots, and that would all be cool. Or, by the way, not even just her, if we're not even talking just about her for a second, anybody could be doing these reshoots just to add a couple extra scenes, and that would be totally awesome. But if you had her already filming with everybody else was filming back in, you know, September, October, November, then you could potentially have her in a scene with somebody else. I don't really, you know, if they have her and she's just like at her house or something, or at a house and she's just alive and like that's all we see of her, I mean, I guess that's fine. But again, like, I would personally like to see her interact, just maybe even with Sydney, just with Sydney. But, you know, we'll have to see how it all goes. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think these reshoots are going to be anything important? Do you think that do you think it's actually reshoots, or they're filming just new scenes altogether? Do you think, you know, Kirby will return? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, podcastnow15 is my Twitter handle. Thank you all so much for watching. I do a new Scream video every single Tuesday, and so I hope to see you guys for the next video.